Do, 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 do. I guess there I am. I guess I'm live. All right, greetings all. It's Max, and we're back. And pretty much got punked by everybody when I did my last live stream. Jesus being born with the sin nature, and that's a thing that people are really upset about. And I chose my words very poorly in that. My idea of it is that Jesus had a lot of temptation because of flesh. And that's how I saw it. I didn't have any other words to explain it. And it's off the cuff. That's how it is. Um, that's just how it is. Now, a lot of people have sent me things showing that no, no, no. Jesus had no sin nature. It wasn't a fleshly nature. He was like flesh. And so that, you got me. I mean, you got me. You got, what do we have here? Romans 8, verse 3. For what the law could not do, and that was weak through flesh, God sending his own son in the likeliness of sinful flesh, and for sin, condemned sin in the flesh. That's it. I'm completely wrong in my ideas, and this is the reason that we do live streams and we do these things is for correction and error. You know, I don't think that people that listen to me um, understood my meaning of what I was saying, but I did use the wrong words. I completely used the wrong words. So that's how it is. And that's what I'm doing this live stream right now is because I need the feedback. Okay. This is fellowship. And I don't want to have problems, divisiveness, or anything like that. Uh, my idea basically comes from that Jesus had to be like us in order to be a sacrifice for us. And that was where my idea come from. But I also understand that he is the second Adam. He's the second Adam. Adam was perfect until he sinned. So Jesus is the second Adam. He doesn't have a sinless nature. He never sinned and was a sacrifice. The temptation has to be there, though. The temptation has to be there. That's what I think about that. So a lot of people have, contacted me on this, and I'm just want to sort of set the record straight. And I understand where people are coming from now. Okay. And it's only because of the feedback that I get from you guys. Okay. Very important stuff. And that's why right now, I was going to do just a pre-recorded thing, but no, I think I can just talk on a live stream. And of course, we're going to be doing it tomorrow with Robert and Brett. Robert apparently has some vocal problems, so we'll see if he can make it there. Pray for that. I'll look at chat here briefly. Thank you all for coming. Phil has no idea what this is about. It's about my last live stream where I either said or insinuated that Jesus had a sin nature because he was born in the flesh. That's what it's about. Oh man, hey Brett, what's up? Yeah, yeah, merely everyone makes mistakes, but not everyone owns up to them. And I decided after a few comments and stuff that I had to do something because I don't want to give anyone the incorrect impression about what I am teaching. Okay. Sandy Sims Woods, yes, this is what this is all about, is speaking with one another and having fellowship and learning from one another. Now, for instance, Romans 3 did not come into my mind when I'm thinking about Jesus. Okay. Did not at all. And oh, 8 Romans 8 verse 3 did not come into my mind. And it says like the flesh, not actually quite the same as us. And that was pointed out to me, and you start looking at it and I'm thinking, well, he's the second Adam. Yeah. So I understand why people are upset about the things that I said. Valerie Ruscio, my Lord was in the flesh, but sinless. Yes. It also says like the flesh. And I don't know if you believe in like Ron Wyatt, who says he has the blood of Christ. He only had 24 chromosomes as opposed to 46, 23 from his female side or mother side for Mary, and then one that was from God. That was the Y chromosome. I don't know if you believe in that or not, but we go through the same temptations. That's the big thing. See, a sacrifice does not mean anything if you're never tested. And all throughout the Bible, Jesus is tested. He's tested with his flesh. 40 days in the wilderness. He's tested. The devil tests him. He's always being tested. I think that was the main thing that my idea was proven to be incorrect was that you have your fleshly body and there's all this sin temptation and all these sinful things. And, I guess it's works maybe, but if you don't do them, then you're a great guy. And Jesus never did any of the stuff that normal people do. Turns out I was completely wrong. It turns out that you have temptation through your flesh, but he never did. I never said that Jesus sinned or anything like that, but it's one of those arbitrator things. Okay. Um, if I'm going up in front of the Lord, this is how I see it. I could say that, well, you never were in my shoes. Jesus can say that. He can say, I've been there and done that, man. I've been there and done that. He absolutely can judge you. He's been there and did it. And I looked at like the same limitations or things that I have in my life, anybody else has in their life, comes down from fleshly body and sin. And I figured that Jesus would have to have had that somewhere in order to be a righteous judge. And it turns out from the Bible, I was completely wrong. Okay. Completely wrong. That he was actually completely without sin or without anything like Adam. Adam before he sinned. He is the second Adam. Just he has there's nothing there. And he continued on with his life, living like a regular person, regular human being, and saved us all because he's fully man, fully God. So I'm only going to go for like 15 minutes. I'll briefly read chat, but I did want to point out, I'm not a small enough man that I'm going to say, well, so and so is a heretic and so is a heretic, and if I'm wrong, whatever. No, if I'm wrong, I'm going to come out and say I was completely wrong on this. And it was a little bit of a misspeech because, when you're live, you're just words come out of your mouth sometimes. But that was my understanding of it. I was corrected. Romans 8 3 completely blows out my whole idea of the whole thing. And yeah, if Jesus is the second Adam, he really had no sin nature at all. Like nothing. I mean, that's how it is. Sherry Zirkle, Jesus had no sin because his DNA wasn't corrupt. He had one Y chromosome. Yeah, we talked about that. Gary Gofflin, Jesus knows what it's like to be tempted, but he does not know what it's like to sin. Well, I think he does. He just didn't. I mean, God knows what sin is. Sherry Zirkle, the Father and Son are one. Yeah, in spirit, but I'm a Trinitarian, so I'm going to say that they're own persons, but they are one in spirit and one in their what they're doing. Brett, it's hard for anyone to understand about worrying about sinning. Well, I don't think that. I think by the time you figure it out, you're so far down that path that you're like, is that a sin? Is that a sin? I'm like, well, all the stuff that I did. This is why this, confession stuff is so funny. And like the Catholics are really big on that, but they really confess all their sins. Can you even remember all your sins? Valerie, don't beat myself up. No, I'm gonna beat myself up. Like I said, I'm not one of these pansy people out here. If I'm wrong on something or I say something that's wrong, I'm gonna come out and say, "Hey, I was wrong on that," and that's it. That's who I am. I fess up to my stuff. Gary Gothland, where do you find a house for 37K? My son and I want to know. Come to Glencoe, man. I'll give you a good deal on my house. I'm looking to get out of here. Not impossible. I will say that when you're looking at houses. Not impossible, but they will be fixer-uppers, man. You have to fix them up quite a bit. I have 25,000 into this house now. At least, probably closer to 30. Ron Cole, the third. What's up, man? Yeah, and Washington is pretty expensive. The Midwest, you can find some good stuff. Anyways, that is what I had to talk about. I really don't have much of anything else other than to say that tomorrow we are hopefully doing, well, I know for sure Brett and I will be doing Mystery Babylon. We will be doing that. And Robert is probably going to be there. I don't know how much he's going to talk. So that's what's going on. I just want to make this quick video and apologize to people out there who are like, oh my, Max said something crazy and and flew off the rails. And you know, that's about it. I'm gonna cut it off right as soon as I get this information. I'm gonna take care of it. And yeah, I was wrong. That was a bad choice of words. It was a very bad choice of words. But that's how it is. All right. I think, with that, that's all I had to say. If anyone has any questions for me, go ahead and pop them up. Otherwise, we're going to be out of here and we'll see you tomorrow. Right? I don't see nothing. So we'll talk to you tomorrow, Brett. And yeah, tune in for Mystery Babylon. Am I getting more acoustic for the walls? No, it's expensive. This is probably $100 worth of stuff that's on the walls. It's expensive. All right, with that, we're going to be out of here. Gotta go.